Um, Good question, Dana. I think the guys are ready to go. When you have the time in the summer to work with your team, we had 7 weeks. We used 7 out of the 8 weeks that were allotted. You get your two scrimmages. So I think the guys are in a place. They are definitely excited. We got some things we got to clean up. There's no doubt about it. We've scrimmaged two very good teams, two teams that are big and athletic. So that was really good for us. We played a lot of guys in those scrimmages. We got to keep cleaning things up and just, prepare each day to try to get a little bit better. You don't want to look ahead to the games. I think you got to concentrate on your practices and try to clean up a few things, leading into Monday.
How important is it for you to have built a program now that coming into this season, not only do players not want to leave when it's very easy to leave with the transfer portal anymore, the players want to be here within your own conference. Not only keep your players, but attract really good players.
Yeah, I think that's Youngstown. It's just a place when you get here. I know personally, didn't know a lot about Youngstown before we got here, right? We always drove through the city on our way to Cleveland because my son lived in Cleveland. So I was coming from West Virginia and I saw the exit. But as you get around the people, it's the campus, it's the city, it's the community, the togetherness. Unless you're from here, you live here, it's hard to explain to people. But I think once our players get here, they feel that love and they understand what our team means to the city. So I think we're in a good place, right? It takes a little bit of time to build a program. We're seeing that in football, right? They're rolling right now. They're in the hunt of a playoff, first time in a few years. But it takes a little time, and it took us some time as well to build this thing. But as you get better each year, you're going to attract better players, right? That's what it's about. So we're happy with our roster for sure.
The style of play, it's kind of what I asked Adrian. Having the players and the coach that you like, he said, hey, Coach Calhoun gives us the freedom to be basketball players. What is it about your style that you think is attractive? What's the sell on guys to be here?
That's I think each player is different, right? You gotta recruit guys, you gotta develop guys. Our system offensively is very free flowing. If you look at the front court guys I've had here the last 5 years, two of them have been on the all conference teams. We utilize those guys. They shoot threes, they play off the bounce. I don't want them looking over at me much throughout the game. I want them to play very free. So I think kids like that.
How much Canisius prep have you started and what jumps out?
None, Joel. Really, to be honest with you, we just got done with our scrimmage the other day, so we had to clean that up this morning. We had a film session. We'll get into Canisius probably Friday. We're gonna practice here the next 2 days, and then take off Thursday, and then we'll go Friday, Saturday. We'll leave Sunday for Canisius, and it's hard to believe. We play 6 games in 14 days. So these last 4 practices are really critical to get into those games. But we'll start looking at them on Friday.
Expectations obviously this year are high, and I know coaches and players are told don't pay attention to preseason polls. That's a good problem to have when people's expectations are high heading into the season, I would assume.
This league is going to be really good. We've got just a whole bunch of teams that have gotten older. I think that's the key in college basketball. You got to get an older roster. How do you do that? You can do it through the portal. You can do that through retaining your players. So you have a lot of old veteran teams, I think, this year. So it's going to be a very, very competitive Horizon League. I think the best in years, probably the best since I've been here. It's got a real chance. That's for sure.
From a health standpoint, I know you haven't played a game, but healthy.
Yeah, that's a big critical piece to the whole puzzle, right? Like, you don't want to overdo it. Our practices are probably about an hour, 40 minutes, live contact, 15, 20-minute film session. Do a lot of, 5-on-0 as well. So Garrett, obviously is coming off that Achilles. He looks good. We played him, I think I played him 25 minutes. So the first scrimmage I played him 15 against Indiana State. And then the second one I played him 27. And that was by design. I'm one of those guys that kind of slow plays things, Dan. I don't want to rush him back. But he looks good, and everybody else is healthy right now. Not really. That's kind of the crazy part. I told him this morning, I feel like we got 8 or 9 guys that could start. It's a very competitive environment right now with our program. It's kind of going to be determined this week, to be honest with you. We played so many lineups in these 2 scrimmages, so you can't. I think the NCAA is talking about it right now, but maybe allowing us to play some exhibitions in the summer. I know John Calipari talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think it would be great for these guys. You get 4 hours a week, but why not get some scrimmages in the summer or one more in the preseason? I think that would be tremendous. But we played a lot of guys. We saw a lot of good things from a lot of guys. So we don't really know yet, Dana, to be honest with you.
How about from a veteran league? I mean, you've got veterans on this team, but none like Garrett. And just having him, the opportunity to come back, a guy that's been here day one and seen the growth of this program. What's he mean to, having that 6th year?
I think everything. I mean, he came in with Mike and Nas, and Nas is, obviously pursuing an NFL career, and Mike's playing in France, and Garrett's still here. It's a remarkable story, to be at a university for 6 years with the COVID, with the injury. He just knows, what he's supposed to do day in and day out. He's done a really good job of helping John Lovelace and some of these new guys in our program. He's just a kid that really wants to see this thing through. When we got him 6 years ago, it was about the NCAA tournament, winning a regular season. And he's been a huge part of those steps we've taken. And I felt it was a really special moment when he called and said he was coming back. It was kind of a shocker. I said, hey, give me 2 minutes. I want to call a couple of your teammates. And then we've been off to the races. So I'm really excited to see what he does in this final year, for sure.